Hey everybody, first off I want to say you get to see me for the first time, and that's pretty awesome. But secondly, uh, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Paws Brown out there. We will link him in the description. He just hit 700 subscribers. Uh, that is monumental because I know he's been chasing that number for a while. We're still a ways behind him, but we'll link him in the description. I'm sure he'll comment. He's been super great. Seeing all of our videos as we've put them out. His unboxing videos are great. His personality is awesome. You should go over and check him out. Secondly, thanks for joining us. This is our first digital unboxing. This is Shane. You've first time seeing my face. If you go over to Twitch, you can see us live streaming Magic the Gathering content about 4 or 5 times a week, and we'll have the schedule up there pretty soon. Over on Twitch, we are RNG Gaming 2020, and all one word, just like Twitch's username. But you can find us over there. In addition to Magic the Gathering Arena content, we're also streaming Fall Guys. And we're also streaming the Jackbox Party Packs, where you can actually play along with us on the stream. When you pop over there, you'll see the schedule. Within a few days, we should have that up. And if you want to join us on Jackbox, you're more than welcome. And for our MtG Arenas, my roommate Andy, he probably streams MtG Arena more than I do. He is more than happy to have people come in the chat, draft along with him, give some strategies, give some suggestions. So it'd be really great if you joined us over on our Twitch channel as well. But don't surf away from this video just yet. We've got some great MtG Arena content right here on YouTube. And as soon as I click log in, I bought the Jace pack and the Nahiri pack. Those are both pre-release packs on MtG Arena. As soon as I log in, they're going to pop up, and we're going to go over them a little bit. So here we go. If I would put the correct password in. That was slightly embarrassing. There we go. So as soon as everything loads, it might have to refresh. I know Andy was playing earlier. It might have to update a little bit. They were having some server trouble tonight. Tonight is the night of the 17th, so this is the night when everything launched. So the servers have been pretty busy. All right. So first we have a new pet. It is an elemental, and it starts as this cool black mana dude with some bones and mushrooms and weird skull and antlers and stuff. And we're gonna just go ahead and apply that now because that looks awesome. Oh, geez, it switched us to the next bit. But anyway, you saw those tokens that were up there. Those are draft tokens and sealed tokens, and we will play. We'll play quick game of sealed. I think we'll do sealed. Andy did some draft on the channel today over on Twitch, but I think I'll do some sealed here, and we'll upload that in a separate video. So if you don't feel like watching any of the unboxing stuff here to get to the sealed, you don't have to. We'll have that video up as a second video. So going on with the rewards here, we have a Nahiri avatar. Nahiri, I haven't read any of the story snippets. We'll touch base about those later. But Nahiri she looked pretty intense in the trailer, right? Like, has she kind of turned heel as Zendikar tries to mend itself? We don't know. I'll have to read those stories. Some of you may already know. Feel free to leave those down in the comments. I don't know what Obey Cooperate is. I saw that earlier when Andy was unboxing. Maybe if anybody has any idea what this is, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'll try and research that and find out what that is. And if I figure it out before we upload, or even after we upload, I'll try and put that in the description. Got a pack of Throne of Eldraine. Not sure what that's about. That's a little goofy. And a pack of Ikoria. Maybe that's from, like... Oh, I know what these are. Because I also get a 10-level jump in this season's Mastery Pass. So those must be Mastery Pass rewards as well. And then I've got 55 packs of Zendikar Rising. We'll go through those and have a look and see what cool stuff I pulled, just like a regular unboxing. We hit more. Some more stuff will stack up here. We get the Jace Mirror Mage card and a selection of all of the full art lands that Zendikar Rising has to offer, and they look really cool. I believe the first Zendikar was the first kind of taste of the standard full art lands, you know, not counting the unsets. And they really don't disappoint. These lands are very cool. Different styles are going to appeal to different people, but I am not mad at the full art lands at all. Continuing the full art lands, we have these two forests and plains. I like this plane, like just like wind sweeping through all these like busted stones, just like hovering out there. It's super rad looking. Then we have Nahiri. These are probably individual card rewards for the mastery sets. Scavenging Ooze, a Will of the All Hunter, and Siona Captain of the Pyleus. And then we got some card styles. So we got the Jace Mirror Mage card style, looks really good. The Nahiri Heir of the Ancients card style. And Drana's Silencer, looks cool. I don't remember what that card does. I didn't do a whole lot of spoilers on this set, so this is going to be kind of a discovery piece for me. A lot of you out there have already seen and spoiled a whole bunch. Shout out to MtG out there, Strictly Better MtG, Nizzahon, even Bad Boy Gaming went over some spoilers out there. Bad Boy Gaming is just a few hours north of me up in Cleveland. I watch the hell out of his videos. MtG, Nizzahon, they're like my go-to source for spoilers. But also a big fan of Mike Hatch up there in Canada. He's a few more hours north of me. His channel is the Magic Historian, so shout out for him too. Those in addition to, like, you know, your more mainstream folks like the Mana Source back in the day when Wedge was making videos a little more frequently. Command Zone, excuse me, and Commander's Quarters. All of y'all out there were kind of my impetus for getting the YouTube channel going. And then the guy I mentioned earlier, Paws Brown, these are people that I've just kind of met as we've been starting. So thanks and shout out to all those people. I'll put them all down in the description. Not that any of the rest of those need shout outs. I think Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming's at like 125,000 subscribers. So he's set. But he started small too, just unboxing and getting like Walmart mystery cubes. So we're hoping to get where he's at, digging the experience so far. But Drana Silencer, Nahiri's Binding, and this is Zendikar. That'll be interesting. I'm excited about big green stupidity in this set. And then we got two Mastery Orbs. We'll go through the Mastery trees as well to see what kind of card styles we have in store and claim prize. And that was it for the pack unboxing there. Let's look at the store, see what's in the store today. For those of you unfamiliar with MtG Arena, first off, free to download, free to learn how to play Magic. So if you don't even know how to play Magic and for some reason you found this video on my channel, which is only a Magic channel right now, you can learn to play Magic just by downloading MtG Arena for free and going through the tutorials. And the tutorials, they're not super all-encompassing, but they will get you started. They will get you playing the game. Beyond that, you can find tons and tons of resources for strategies, a little bit more advanced play styles, things like that. But this will get you started. And if you go through the tutorial, again, free. That's the right price point, right? You go through the tutorial, you get a ton of cards to start a collection, and you get a bunch of starter decks that are already made for you, that are synergistic and play well, and you can start playing on MtG Arena day one after you go through the tutorial. So big fan there. After you get through the tutorial, and this is kind of your daily thing, when you log in, this is what your screen will look like. This big screen here, you see, this is kind of the features of the week, what they are advertising. Zendikar Rising is in the store. You can buy Zendikar Rising. New deals every day. Check out the daily deals tab. That's what we're going to look at before we get into unboxing the packs. Premier Draft Zendikar Rising. That's what we're going to get into. Oh, no. Andy did that earlier. We're going to do a sealed, so we'll hold off on Premier Draft for right now. But that is literally drafting Zendikar Rising with 7 other players around a virtual table, drafting it against real people. So those are the ad pieces. And then over here on the right, you'll see kind of what games are being advertised, what events are being advertised that week. And then down here you have daily quests. Now each day you'll get another one of these quests, and it will basically remember up to 3 days. So these will stay here and then will cycle out as new quests come in. Now my recommendation each day, and I can't do it because I think I already burned my refresh, but I think it's either each day or every few days. I'll have to check, and we'll just put it up as a correction. But you can refresh a quest. If it's a quest you don't want to do, you can refresh it and get either another 500 or 750 gold quest. I recommend, if you can refresh one of the 500 gold quests, because you might pull up a 750 gold quest, and it might just be as easy as play 30 lands, or attack with 30 creatures, and you can get that done in any game. Here, each week, see, I'm not getting my pop-ups. Each week, you'll get 15 wins, and then there's daily 15 wins where you can get gold and XP as well. And then this is kind of special. This is what's called the Mastery Tree. I don't know why some things aren't clicking properly, but anyway, the Mastery Tree, you're in the Mastery Tree just by playing anyway, okay? You start out up here on top at, like, stage 1, level 1 of the Mastery Tree, okay? And then, as you play and as you win, you will gain experience through this little, like, round thing surrounding this, what are those called? My brain just completely shut off. I'm gonna get a ton of, like, shouts in the comments. You fool, that's a Hedron. And then, as you complete levels, you get rewarded. So every other level, you get a pack. Just a free pack of cards. That's super rad, right? However, if you pay gems, which gems are kind of the currency that you buy in the game, if you pay gems, you're in the Mastery Tree down here, okay? Like the paid Mastery Tree. So if you pay the gems, you get the Nahiri avatar, that cool card sleeve of is that the Cup Islands? They look like the Cup Islands. I'm sure it's not. That might be like a forest, or it might just be just a cool landscape. And then you also get the pet that we saw earlier. And then every level you get a reward. Now on this one, it's just the Drana Silencer card style, like you saw, because we're already 10 levels in. A pack. An Obey Cooperate text emote. That's interesting. So that's an emote I can do while I'm playing, apparently. That's annoying to people. I'm sure that won't be trolly at all. And then you get these mastery orbs, right? And you're like, what's a mastery orb? I will show you. So then we're already on 11, right? So that's the Zendikar card style. Now, next to this, we get a Hedron Love emote. This is hilarious. I didn't know they were putting new emotes in the system. That's hilarious to me, and I will be doing that because I try to be goofy and friendly. So, as you go on, you see the rewards. Ooh, a draft token, that's cool. The rewards go on and so forth. Swarm, Rise. Oh man, I've got to get to at least level 25 because that dude looks super rad. But then you see this guy up here. This is your like fully evolved elemental, right? Like he's like a Cup Island elemental. So he kind of evolves as you level up, right? Oh man. Hedron Angry emote. This is absurd. I dig it. Sleepy emote. Ooh! A Coom elemental. Now, this is your little pet while you're playing. And you'll see that on the next video, because I'm definitely going to use the pet in the video. And then, let's see, anything else special? You see you get some gems sometimes. Some more card styles. Oh, a Grakmal card style. That's sweet. A happy emote. Ooh, is that a... Ooh, very nice sleeve. My roommate likes the sleeves. That's his, like, collecting point in the game is the sleeves. And then like if you make it to 110, you top out with the best version of them. And then even beyond 110, there's still rewards to be had, which is cool. So and then after 130, you just get an uncommon card every level. You got to play a hell of a lot to get past that. But mastery tree. There's 5 trees, and they start down here, right? So the white mastery tree, you see it pops up. It's the Dauntless Unity card style. Now, if we select that, then with our second orb, we could select either Skyclave Cleric or Kabira Takedown. And then so on and so forth with Ondu Inversion, Maul of the Skyclaves, which is such a good piece of equipment. And then finally, Emiria's Call. So you can see with the ones in the middle and the final ones, they're really focusing on those modal dual-faced cards, double-faced cards. So I play a lot of black and green. I'll probably go with the black and green to start. Yeah, those look really cool. So Reclaim the Wastes, Balaged Recovery, Tangled Florahedron, that's rad. Inscription of Abundance, Kazandu Mammoth, and a Turntimber Symbiosis, nice. And then in the blue, you blue players out there, man, Amara Wizard, Jawari Disruption, Glasspool Mimic, I accidentally clicked, I'm glad I wasn't on one that was clickable. Inscription of Insight, and finally the Seagate Restoration, which I know people are chasing. And then Royal Eruption for red, Spike Field Hazard, Akum Warrior, Magmatic Channeler, Valakut Exploration, and Shatter Skull Smashing. Very cool. Tell me what you think about these modal dual-faced cards in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I think they're a really cool addition to the game. I thought it was really innovative, so kudos to Rosewater and the rest of the team on that one. Like I said, I'm going to go black. And, oh, you got to confirm after each one, so we'll go black. Right? Cool little animation. And then it pops up, and there's your card style. So if we happen to get one of these in our sealed, we'll have the cool card style automatically kind of performing for us. Now I could go green with Reclaim the Wastes, or I could pick a Black Bloom Rogue, or the Malakir Rebirth. Now again, I don't remember what any of these cards are. I haven't really spoiled myself very well, but I do kind of want to develop the black, because I really want to play black in this set. I'm going to like force it. So I think I'm going to go Black Bloom Rogue and kind of just take my chances there. Cool. So here, oh, cool. So in previous mastery trees, you had to go kind of along a whole path, right? Like if you remember the most recent mastery tree for, was it M21? You had to, if you wanted like the final mastery point in a color, you had to go through all the points of it. You had to get all 6, 7, how many there were. With this, it looks like, because from here, it's got this selectable for the next one. So I wonder if I select Inscription of Ruin, if I can then like fast track my way to the Agadeem's Awakening. That'll be interesting to see. No spoilers. You can spoil down in the comments, that's fine. Alright, so that's kind of what we're all looking at. And then in the store, I forgot, in the store, each day when you log in, you should come here and go to deals. Because each day they'll have these daily deals, and you can purchase, sometimes they'll just have gems here. And like they might have 100 gems for 50 gems. And you just get a free 50 profit of gems. In this case, nothing I really want. The Showcase Fae of Wishes is great, don't get me wrong, and 500 is a bang-up price for it. I just don't play it, so I'm going to pass on that. But Croxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, super cool. Call of the Death Dweller, I play the hell out of that card if I'm playing Ikoria, but I just don't feel like spending the gems right now. But that's what the daily deals are. None of them for me today, but that's okay. Let's get to cracking some packs. So we'll crack some Throne of Eldraine packs first. And again, for those of you new to the game, as you crack packs, these two meters kind of fill up, right? You'll see as we crack the packs. Your reward for filling this meter, you get an uncommon wild card. Your reward for filling this one is a rare wild card that sometimes, here we go, 3 more packs till the next rare wild card, 21 more packs to your next mythic rare wild card, but I think they occasionally, like, go mythic. I could be wrong, though. Again, correct me in comments. I love the info. Wild cards is basically how you buy the cards that you want in your deck. Like, let's say you only have 3 of a particular card and you want a full play set, you'll use a wild card. So we got a Linden, the Steadfast Queen. Nothing new for the collection here. Next, this Throne of Eldraine pack. A Mirror Maid, again, nothing new here. You'll see when a card that's new to you pops up, it will have a kind of a gold border that says new. And you'll see that as soon as we start cracking the Zendikar. Okay, nothing new for me in Ikoria. I've been playing quite a lot. So here, when you've got a bunch of packs like this, you can literally just open 10 at a time. And I think it just feeds you the rares. I think that's what we'll do. Because I doubt you want to see me go through 55 packs for 1 rare at a time if I can just feed 10 rares at a time. Now, if I hit 10 and it just goes to the next one, I'll stop that junk and we'll go bit by bit. So let's open 10. Ah, it did. It did the rare thing. Cool. And then you see it fills up the meters just like we opened it. So we have a Thieving Skydiver. Okay. So 2 mana, 2/1 flyer, which is great anyway. Good limited card. Kicker X. X can't be 0 for a kick. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, gain control of target artifact with converted mana cost X or less if that artifact is an equipment attached to Thieving Skydiver. Note, that doesn't say you gain control of it until Thieving Skydiver leaves the battlefield. It's just yours. You control it. So this may actually, in some builds, this may show up in Commander because there's a lot of cheap artifacts flying around. It'd be cool to steal somebody's Sol Ring on like turn 2 or 3. Lithoform Engine. This is the Commander staple chase card of the set. 4 mana, and it gives you the ability to copy pretty much anything you do in the whole game. This is just combo monstrous. This will start being a staple in Commander. This is Paradox Engine good before Paradox Engine was banned. Down the road, this will be on everybody's tongue discussing whether or not they should ban it, because people are going to break this and it's going to turn into combos. Here we have Drana, the Last Blood Chief. If I get her, oh, I'm going to be so happy. 5 mana flying 4/4 is great anyway. Whenever she attacks, defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in your graveyard. You return that card to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it, and it becomes a vampire. That's whenever she attacks. Not if she lives through the attack, if she deals damage to the player. None of that. All she's got to do is attack. And if you've got something in your graveyard that's huge and non-legendary, let's say that's the only creature card in your graveyard, it comes right back. That's cool. This is going right in my Edgar Markov deck as soon as I pull it, hopefully in the box I open in real life in Paper Magic tomorrow. But that belongs in just about every vampire deck out there. Very cool. This is one of the modal dual-faced cards. Kazandu Valley, Kazandu Mammoth. Now, in your hand, it is... oh god. It's Kazandu Mammoth in your hand. So, anything referring to creature card, anything like that, it's the Kazandu Mammoth. So if you get Duressed... no, wait, Duress is non-creature, non-land. If you get Thoughtseized, they can pull your Kazandu Mammoth. Even though it's a land on the back, it's Kazandu Mammoth. It's a creature on the front. This also is, for those of you playing a Marin of Clan Neltoth deck, this is a creature in your graveyard. Although I wonder what the ruling is for when it comes to the battlefield, if you can choose to flip it to the Kazandu Valley in like a Marin. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. There's somebody out there that's going to correct me. Skyclave Shade, 2 mana for a 3/1 with a kicker of 2 and a black. Skyclave Shade can't block. If Skyclave Shade was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. It's not bad. 5 mana for a 5/3. On the landfall ability, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, If Skyclave Shade is in your graveyard and it's your turn, you may cast it from your graveyard this turn. That's pretty cool. So lots of good recursion there. I'd like to see that in a sealed. Squad Commander, 4 mana for a 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, you create a 1/1 white core warrior creature token for each creature in your party. The party mechanic is really neat. I think it's going to be hard to pull off, but I guess we'll see. Party is cleric, a warrior, a rogue, and a wizard. So if you have a creature of each of those 4 types, you get 4 1/1s. Now, he's a warrior, so even if she, I don't know. That looks like it could be either, I'm not sure. I think it's a he. We're going to go with he. Again, correct me. When he hits the battlefield, he's going to create that 1/1 white core warrior because he himself is a warrior. Myriad Construct's really neat. They're calling it like the fake hangerback walker of the set. 4 mana 4/4, kicker a 3. When it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each non-basic land your opponents control. And remember, these flip lands are all non-basics, even though they come in and they're basically like forests. Those are all non-basics as well, if they come in as lands. That gets big in Commander. When Myriad Construct becomes the target of a spell, sacrifice it and create a number of 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature tokens equal to its power. Again, not when it dies like Hangerback, it's when it becomes the target of a spell. So if you're swinging in with it, all your opponent's got to do is target it with something, stops the attack, but you do get all those 1/1s. Here we have a Skyclave Apparition, 1 and 2 white. When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. When it leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card. So they don't get the thing back, they get kind of just a plain old illusion back when Skyclave Apparition leaves. Blinking this could be interesting. You're giving your opponent these crappy illusions, but you could be like exiling stuff every turn. So I'm sure that'll get abused somehow. This is so cool. Zareth San the Trickster. 3, a blue and a black for a 4/4 with flash. It has basically rogue ninjutsu. If you attack with a rogue and the rogue is unblocked, and this is in your hand, you pay 2, a blue and a black, return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand, and put Zareth San the Trickster from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and he's already unblocked, your opponent can't change up blocks. Whenever Zareth San deals combat damage to a player, you can put target permanent card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. This is like, we will be seeing this card forever, because this is going in every like ninjutsu commander deck. I can't think of the black-blue ninja commander right now, but that's going in there. And this is going to be a commander, excuse me, all on its own too. You got to figure out how to get it to your hand, put it on the battlefield, blink it back, and then do your ninjutsu tricks. But there will be people out there that crack that. Another cool card, Kaza Royal Chaser. A blue and a red, flying haste 1/2. It's solid on its own, right? For tap it, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less to cast, where X is the number of wizards you control as this ability resolves, and Kaza is a wizard. So 2 mana, put it on the battlefield, tap it, it's basically giving you a free mana to use on an instant or sorcery. Or if you've already got a wizard, it's 2 free mana that turn. It pays for itself turn 1. That's pretty cool. So that was the first 10. Got some good pulls, right? Next. I dig that it just opens the 10. That's super cool. Okay, so some packs on Arena, you just get wild cards, which is kind of cool. Especially because it's a mythic. I can pick what mythic I want. Kargan Intimidator. 2 mana for a 3/1. Cowards can't block warriors. 1, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Kargan Intimidator gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Target creature becomes a coward till end of turn, or target warrior gains trample until end of turn. So you can do each of those once with this card. You can't just call your opponent's whole board cowards. and block unmolested, or attack unblocked, unmolested. Very hoity-toity way of phrasing that. But yeah, cool card. 2 mana, 3/1, and he can like say like you can't block me because you're scared. It's a cool limited card. I don't know if it sees a lot of constructed play, but maybe we'll see. Obviously, mythic rare wild card, rad. There's Drana again, so that's cool. I'm starting to get some little Drana collection here. Might make a vampire deck later. Nahiri's Lithoforming's neat. X red, sacrifice X lands. For each land sacrificed this way, draw a card. So red card draw. Very cool, right? You can play X additional lands this turn. Lands you control enter the battlefield tapped. So 2 red, sack a couple of mountains. Whatever you draw, if you get a mountain, it goes back down. That's kind of cool. It has the ability to replace the lands, and then if you get some good stuff, you know, you're not too worried about it. Rare wild card. Lotus Cobra came back this set. This card's neat. 2 mana, 2/1. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, add 1 mana of any color. Sounds super basic, right? Doesn't sound all that powerful. But what happens when you throw down like a Terramorphic Expanse or a Evolving Wilds? That's the one. You get the landfall mana for the Evolving Wilds. Tap, sack the Evolving Wilds, put another land into play, you get another mana. So it has the possibility of just going off and ramping. This is really cool. So starts with Onto Inversion, right? 6 white, destroy all non-land permanents. Big bada boom, end of game, massive play. Or if you need a plains basically at the beginning of the game, and you've got this thing sitting in your hand, just flop it down for your land that turn. That's cool. Now with this one, these I'm super stoked about. It's basically a plains on one side, a swamp on the other. No basic land types, of course, but you get my meaning. And they don't come in tapped. So there's no real downside other than the fact you do have to select which color this land will produce. And unless you bounce the land and put it down, that won't change. You don't flip them when they're on the battlefield. But that kind of selection, very powerful. Big fan. Here we have Valakut Exploration. 2 and a red for an enchantment. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of your library. You can play that card for as long as it remains exiled. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them in their owner's graveyard. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent. That's neat. So it's guaranteed damage each turn unless you pull a land, of course. Or you can just play the card. That is a neat card. That's the kind of like red goofy enchantment that usually costs like 5 or 6 mana, and we always try to crack it and make it work, but this only costs 3 mana. That's pretty cool. That's going to see some play, I think. People are going to go crazy with that. All the Johnnies out there. Here we have Magmatic Channeler. 2 mana for a 1/3. 1 and a red, for a 1/3 for those of you listening. As long as there are 4 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Magmatic Channeler gets +3/+1. So if you've been spell slinging for 1 and a red, you get a 4/4. Additional ability, tap and discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. That's really cool. For red to have card selection like that, choice, Chef's Kiss. That's a fun card. Good job, Wizards. Next 10. Here we have, see, this, I was a fan of this. Relic Robber. 3 mana, 2/2 with haste. Choice. Whenever a Relic Robber deals combat damage to a player, that player creates an 0/1 colorless goblin construct artifact token creature with this creature can't be blocked, and at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. So if they've got sack outlets, fine, they're going to sack the thing, it's not going to do anything. Otherwise, this stupid little construct token is going to sit as a creature on their battlefield and ping them for 1 damage every turn. That's great. That's like a little Chandra emblem from, what was that, M20? That's pretty cool. Here we go. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. This card is bonkers. Okay, Ashiya Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. That means everything on the board is a Llanowar elf, basically, in addition to what it is normally. But also, all the things out there in the world that say destroy all non-land permanents, suddenly they're one-sided board wipes for you. All your non-token creatures are lands, so they're not affected by the exile all non-land permanents, or destroy all non-land permanents. What's that, Oblivion Ring? O-Stone? O-Stone. Says non-land. So you're a Ashiya Soul of the Wild, making that your commander and putting some effects like that in there. Chef's kiss. Ancient Green Warden, 4 green for 5/7 with reach. You may play lands from your graveyard. That's right. Crucible of Worlds on a creature. If a land entering the battlefield causes the triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, landfall, that ability triggers an additional time. That is awesome. And I don't even have to explain why that's awesome. Go through the tutorial. You will understand why free doubling triggers is amazing, and playing land cards from your graveyard is amazing. I need one of these in paper, and it needs to go in my Freyalise deck. Cragplate Baloth, 5 green. Now this is just kind of a big dumb dude, right? 6/6 hexproof haste. Hexproof means you can't target this with /abilities, and a kicker of 2 and a green. The spell can't be countered. Dude, this is ridiculous. If Cragplate Baloth was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters. Have a stupid amount of mana because all your creatures make mana from Ashiya Soul of the Wild. Sweet. Cast Cragplate Baloth for 11. You have a hexproof, haste, uncounterable, 10/10. Ridiculous. Super cool. Big monsters on Zendikar. Huge fan. Verazal the Split Current. Now this is cool. I know all the Johnnies are out there trying to break this, figuring out where this goes. X green for a serpent. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. So if you cast it for just the green and blue, it still comes in as a 2/2. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, you can remove 2 +1/+1 counters. If you do, copy that spell, choose new targets for the copy. So this can come down and just be waiting to copy a kicked spell. Now, a copy of a permanent spell now becomes a token. Look what we just saw. If you've got a Verazal on board with more than, with 2 +1/+1 counters or more, and then you get in the late game, you got a whole butt ton of creatures, and you lay down a 10/10 hexproof haste uncounterable Cragplate Baloth. Now you have 2, because you're gonna get rid of 2 on him for 10/10 with haste. It's gross. Lotus Cobra again, awesome. Null Priest of Oblivion, yes. 1 black, 1 colorless for a Menace Lifelink 2/1. Kicker of 3 and a black. When Null Priest of Oblivion enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Awesome. Just a big fan. I love the fact that just for 2 mana, you get a Menace Lifelink 2/1. That's great on its own. Then there's the extra kicker cost for what is the equivalent spell for 3 and a black that fishes stuff out of your graveyard. It's up here somewhere. Maybe I'll find it, but you'll probably find it before me. Put that in the comments. I dig that the kicker spells, you're not paying higher premium for the card on its own anymore. So even if this was just a 1 and a black for a 2/1 Menace Lifelink, that's fine. That would be fine. Next, the Magmatic Channeler. We saw one of those, so we got duplicates of those. Cool, we got some variety here. Luminarch Aspirant, 1 and a white for a 1/1 human cleric. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. This thing comes down and just starts getting bigger, or it makes something else bigger. Mind-blowing. Morog, Fury of Akum. For you Minotaur fans out there, this boy's going in your Minotaur deck. 4 and a red for a 6/6. 6 mana for 6/6. Awesome. Each creature you control gets +1/+0 for each time it has attacked this turn. So, +1/+0 just for your first attack, right? Then, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. At the beginning of that combat, untap all creatures you control. That's just gross. That is awesome. A little dusty here. A little out of focus. Oh well. That's fine. Wonder how to make my thing focus. I just realized I've been out of focus this whole time. That's a bummer. Oh well. Oh no! I missed the rest of them. Ah, bummer. I clicked. Sorry, everybody. That was a good pack, too. So here we have River Glide Pathway, Lava Glide Pathway, just like the black-white mana we saw earlier. Tajuru Paragon, interesting card. 2 mana, counts as a Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard, and it's 3/2. That's pretty good on its own. But a kicker for 3, when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, reveal the top 6 cards of your library. You can put a card that shares a creature type with it among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Perfect for trying to assemble a party. This doesn't give you a full party right off the bat. Here we have Angel of Destiny, 3 white, flying double strike, 2/6. This is neat. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. Now, that other player takes the damage, and then that damage basically gets refunded to them. But you gain the life. At the beginning of your end step, if you have at least 15 life, more than your starting life total, each player, Angel of Destiny attack this turn, loses the game. That's going to be a standard deck, folks. You watch, because that's cool. There's a ton of life gain in this standard right now. That's going to be a thing. Verazal the Split Current, we've gone over. Ondu Sky Ruins, we've gone over this as well. Interesting that it was flipped the other way when we were looking at it when it was over here. Nice formatting, Wizards. Not bad. Oran Reef Ooze, 3 mana for a 2/2, 2 and a green for a 2/2. Creature Ooze. When Oran Reef Ooze enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Not bad. So every time, even if it's just your only creature, 3 mana, 3/3, that's about right in a game of limited. Whenever Oran Reef Ooze attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, including itself. So when it first swings, 4/4. So on and so forth. Red, for a 2/2, Trample Haste, for the card is called Wayward Guide Beast. Whenever Wayward Guide Beast deals combat damage to a player, return a land you control to its owner's hand. There's a lot of mixed feelings about this card, and I get it. It's a late game card, but it's a late game card that I can respect, because 1 mana 2/2 Trample Haste in the late game, it's a little bit of reach, and if it hits them, you bounce a land. Who cares? It also enables lifelink, landfall synergies. So you've already drawn most of your stuff. You're not drawing land. All of your landfall stuff is drawing dead. Send in the Wayward Guide Beast, bounce one of your lands. Now your landfall works again. So pretty cool. Maddening Cacophony, 1 and a blue for a sorcery. Kicker of 3 and a blue. So total cost with kicker, 6 mana. Each opponent mills 8 cards. Huge in the rogue deck. If this spell was kicked, instead, each opponent mills half their library, rounded up, and Bruvak the Grandiloquent, who is in Historic right now, says, anytime you mill a card, mill twice that many. Maddening Cacophony basically says, mill your library if he's in play. That's pretty cool. Grakmaw, Skyclave Ravager. Like I said, big fan of green and black. Legendary creature, Hydra Horror, 1 black-green, enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, put a +1/+1 counter on Grakmaw. When Grakmaw dies, create an XX black and green Hydra creature token, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Grakmaw. Grakmaw dies, basically creates a Grakmaw. That is so cool. And then, When he's in the graveyard and your Marin of Clan Neltoth is on the field, you pull Grakmaw back out and he starts this crap all over again. That card is going in my Marin deck. How cool. It's also going in every +1/+1 counter deck out there. Skullbriar, oh goodness. Linvala, Shield of Seagate, 1 blue and a white for a flying 3/3. 3 mana for flying 3/3. Already good. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, choose target non-land permanent an opponent controls. Till your next turn, it can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Sacrifice Linvala. Choose Hexproof or Indestructible. Creatures you control gain that ability till end of turn. That's pretty cool. That's a neat card. So now we're down to just 5 packs. I don't think you can bulk open those. Goes one by one. Hey, we got Morog. We were talking about him. He gives you the ability for that second attack phase. Hey, buddy! Oh, man, I wish the camera was in focus right now because you're such a handsome cat. Here, I'll pull out the kitty shelf so you can stand in front of me and wave your tail, since I know that's what you want to do anyway. So we'll go over some of the uncommons. Shatter Skull Minotaur, 4 mana, 4 and a red for a 5/4 with haste. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. So if you have a full party, red for a 5/4 haste. Pretty cool. Moss Pit Skeleton, green-black for a 2/2. Okay, kicker of 3. If it was kicked, it enters with 3 +1/+1 counters, so it's a 5/5 for 5. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, if Moss Pit Skeleton's in your graveyard, you can put it on top of your library. You may put it on top of your library. So again, +1/+1 counter synergies, Moss Pit Skeleton might find its way in there. Utility Knife, 1 mana for an artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to a creature. It's cool. I like the free equips on these equipments. Equip creature gets +1/+1. Neat. Equip costs for 3 when it falls off, so maybe not so neat. Shepherd of Heroes, 4 and a white. This is a common 3/4 flying angel. It's about right. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each creature in your party, and the angel is a cleric on her own, so she's automatically going to give you 2 life, possibly more. Risen Riptide, 2 and a blue for a creature elemental. He's common, 0/5. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, Risen Riptide has base power and toughness 5/5 until end of turn. Pretty rad. Teeter Peak Ambusher, 1 and a red for a 1/3. Goblin Warrior. And for 2 and a red, he gets +2/+0 till end of turn. See, these are commons. They're not super exciting, but we'll go over them. Nimana, Sky Dancer, 2 and a black. Flash Flying 2/1. Very cool. I love flash creatures. Sometimes they're just removal. When Nimana Sky Dancer enters the battlefield, target opponent mills 2 cards. Like I said, getting 8 cards in their library in their graveyard, huge for the rogue deck out there. Next pack. Wild card. So we got the Shatter Skull Minotaur. Marasa Sproutling, 2 and a green, kicker of 1 and a green. When Marasa Sproutling enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target card with a kicker ability from your graveyard to your hand. So there's definitely some kicker synergies in this set. That's very cool. And it's a 3/3 on its own. I am a fan. Expedition Champion, 2 and a red for a 2/3. He gets +2/+0 as long as you control another warrior. Simple. Molten Blast, here's our not as good a braid. 2 and a red, it deals, you choose 1, deals 2 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or destroy target artifact. Dauntless Survivor, 1 and a green. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Simple. Dig it. Dreadworm, 4 and a black for a 5/4 worm horror. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, it gains indestructible till end of turn. That's a common. 5 mana 5/4 that when you toss a land down, it's indestructible. That's neat. Living Tempest, 5 mana. That's 4 and a blue for a flash flying 3/3. Is what it is. About a C-D+ card, but you'll throw it in there occasionally. Ooh, yes, cool. We got Zagras of Heartbeats. I'm a fan of this. This is also going in my vampire deck. 4 black and red, legendary creature vampire rogue. Flying, death touch, haste, 4/4. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Awesome. Gives all your creatures death touch. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. It's basically planeswalker death touch. Huge fan. Next is Merfolk Falconer. 3 blue flying. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, scry 2. 5 mana, 4/4 flying, and if you've got kick synergies, a bunch of kicker stuff in your deck, you can scry. Very cool. Core Celebrant, 2 and a white. Whenever Core Celebrant or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, gain 1 life. That's a 1/4, so it's durable. So life gain synergy, that's your buddy. Scale the Heights, 2 and a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. You gain 2 life. You can play an additional land this turn. Draw a card. That's a common. That's sweet. I'm a fan. Molten Blast again, Utility Knife, and Hagra Constrictor. 2 and a black, enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters, and each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Menace. So 3 mana for a 2/2 Menace, gives all your other creatures Menace if they have a +1/+1. Pretty cool. Another wild card. Roost of Drakes, 1 mana for an enchantment. Kicker of 2 and a blue. I'm digging kicker on like things like enchantments. It's cool. When Roost of Drakes enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. So 4 mana for a 2/2 flyer. Not great off the bat. However, whenever you cast a kicked spell, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. It doesn't hurt just to throw that down on turn 1 and have it sitting there to catch all of your kicked spells to just produce Drakes later on. That's pretty cool. Salundi Vision. This is another modal double-faced card. 2 and a blue for an instant. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Or it can come in as a tapped blue mana producer. Dauntless Unity, 1 and a blue, kicker 1 and a blue. Creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. If the spell was kicked, they get +2/+1 till end of turn instead. Okay, it'll show up in limited. Synchronized Spellcraft, 4 and a red. Deals 4 damage to target creature and X damage to that creature's controller, where X is the number of creatures in your party. You may not have party synergies, but still, 5 mana for 4/4, that'll show up as a pick in limited. Spitfire Lagak, 3 and a red for a 3/4 lizard. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield, Spitfire Lagak deals 1 damage to each opponent. So if you can bounce some lands and do some land shenanigans, you can just sit there and just Spitfire at your opponent. That's neat. For a common, not bad. Rabid Bite, we know Rabid Bite. 1 and a green for a sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage it's equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Again, not a fight, it's a bite. Great for death touch creatures. Alright, last pack. What are we hoping to get? Put your guesses in the comments down below. And honor system, no guessing after the pack's open. I want to see how good your guesses were. Let's see. Ooh, I like that the music comes on all adventurous as we open these packs. We got... It's a rare. Ah, wild card. Cool. Any rare. You were right. If you guessed a rare, you were right. So here we got a Soaring Thought Thief. Blue and a black for a flash flying 1/3 human rogue. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, rogues you control get +1/+1 +1/+0. Remember when I said 8 cards in the graveyard for the rogues deck? That's your boy. Excuse me. Throat was getting a little rough from talking. And whenever 1 or more rogues you control attack, each opponent mills 2 cards. So he enables the 8. Wild card uncommon. Here we go. Many a limited game is going to be lost to this card. 1 mana, artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature has flying, equip 2. If you get this in your sealed pool, put it in your deck. If you see this in a draft, grab one. Put it in your deck. It's a dummy good card for limited. Here we have Expedition Diviner, 3 and a blue. Merfolk Wizard, 3/2 flying, not bad. As long as you control another wizard, Expedition Diviner has, when this creature dies, draw a card. Not bad. Playable. There's Dauntless Unity again. Might of Marassa, 1 in green, kicker 2 in a green. Target creature gets +3/+3 till end of turn. If it was kicked, it gets +5/+5 instead. Here we have Cunning Geyser Mage, 2 and a blue, kicker 2 and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return up to one other target creature to its owner's hand. It's a 3/2. That's really expensive. There were 2/2s for 3 that would bounce that in some previous sets. But again, if you have the kicker synergies and things that you can double kick abilities or put a Drake in when stuff's kicked, sometimes that's worth it. But on its own, that rate is too high. The rate is too damn high. Anyway, that's our unboxing. I am going to kill this video, do just the hard upload on it. Maybe I'll go back and fix some things. Unfortunately, I can't make my webcam focus any better. I didn't realize I was this out of focus until most of the way through, so apologies. But we'll kill this for now, fix some things, do some uploads, and then I'm going to do a game of sealed that we'll upload in a different video. So thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Go to all the places that I shouted out. We'll put them down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Now that the video is ending, head over to our Twitch stream, see some stuff there. Hopefully YouTube doesn't penalize me for suggesting that. We'll see what happens. But we'd love to have you over there playing some games with us too. Much love. Thank you for checking us out, and you have a great day.